Hello team, in the past we've spoken about graphic designer, UX designer, and product designers. We've had questions about product managers as well, and so I want to dive deeper into that in this video and just talk about the difference between product designer and a product manager. They're very much closely related to each other and they work together a lot. But just to clarify what each of them are, let's get into it in this video. So let's start with the difference. The key difference is that product designers and managers actually work closely together. However, the biggest difference is that product managers are more business oriented and they have more business and market acumen, and they just have a bigger responsibility when it comes to high level product details. So product managers may be product owners as well, but essentially they have understood the vision, the strategy, alignment with the business goals and the different stakeholders. They manage all of that life cycle of a product, so that covers everything. You can think about a project manager's responsibility, things like managing timelines, costings, budget, processes, workflows, all of that, strategies, that's all covered by the product manager, and he or she would have an overarching understanding of that, specific to the product that they're looking after. They typically look after one product if it's complex enough. I've used this example in the past and I'm going to use this again. So for example, if it's an Uber driver app, then you might have a product manager looking after it, given the complexity of it. And if we talk about product designers in this context, they are involved in the high-level part of the product. So they may understand the roadmap, the phasing of the product, the releases of the features. So they have a comprehension and understanding of that, but it's not their responsibility and not their decision, which lies on the product manager oftentimes. Product designer focuses on the design, the research, so you can think about UX, visual design, all of those things, user testing and basically user validation. That's all part of the product designer's role, but while doing all of that, they have a strong understanding as well about the business goal and where the business wants to go. They have their say in terms of how to manage certain workflows or groups of works to be executed in the next phase and things like that. And for a product designer to be able to do that, they need to understand the business problems and the opportunities as well. So let's talk about how does the two work together, the product designer and the product manager. Product managers are focused on product strategy. So they hold the product strategy, but in order for them to be able to do that, they work with cross-functional teams that oftentimes includes the designer. The designer plays a very important role as much as a technical team member who is, say, like a technical solutions architect or something like that. And in addition to that, there will be marketing, sales, maybe finance, and so on and so forth. But product managers oftentimes are responsible with the overall product strategy. Product managers and designers run discovery together along with, let's say, like a tech lead or a technical lead. They work very closely in product discovery processes, workshops involving stakeholders, designing, co-designing solutions, prototyping. Product designers will work very, very closely with their product manager to achieve the goal. Product designers and product managers may work very closely with each other as well when they're managing resources. So, for example, additional design team members, outsourcing design work, and together with the engineer or the technical solutions architect or the tech lead, they might work together in terms of coming up with future budget costs, timelines, and how to break down their big project into smaller chunks of work. What are the skills that are needed for the two between product designers and product manager? So I'll start with product manager first. The product manager has a strategic thinking and planning skill that they are responsible for the strategy, as I was saying earlier. They need to be able to achieve certain business goals. So they are fluent with the business goals and the metrics and the KPIs. They need to have that business acumen to be able to do all of that. Product manager will also need to have an understanding of the market, the industry, the landscape. In order for them to be able to do this, because they work cross-functional within different teams and departments, they need to understand the marketing opportunities and the sales opportunities, and therefore they know the market, the customer, any business data that will influence their product launch strategy or product marketing campaign strategy. Product managers are responsible for roadmaps, so that's one of the biggest things. out of a product manager's output or outcome, which is a project planning, determining priorities, being able to manage timelines, resources, budget, and be able to manage risks and change as well during the course of the project. Product managers in organizations are oftentimes seen as the leader when it comes to cross-functional team collaboration. So this person is a great leader, they're a great communicator, they have all of those leadership skills to be able to gel people together and have people work together in harmony. And if we talk about the skills of a product designer, they mainly come down to things that I've mentioned in the past, which are user research, which is understanding user needs, pain points, opportunities behind all of that. They are a human-centered problem-solving machine. What they do is they empathize with the user, taking all of their research and then converting that into actionable design outcomes. UI and UX design is, of course, a component of product design, so they are well-versed in the UI and UX design skills and the principles around it and what makes a great design when it comes to visual as well as experience design. Product designer is the leader when it comes to design process, and that involves things like storyboarding, wireframing, prototyping, and user validation, things that we talk about in the design sprint. That's essentially a product designer's role. And like everyone else, of course, the product designer is also part of the collaborative team. And so part of the skills that's needed out of a product designer is being able to simply collaborate with its team members and form a great alliance when it comes to producing a great product. So you might be wondering which one suits you the most if you're thinking about jumping into this field. A lot of people start in design before they get into product management, or they might be a developer, a technical person before getting into product management, or they might be a project manager. So you can come from different backgrounds, but the most important thing is that you know what's involved. And so if you've heard this video from the beginning, you would understand whether the responsibility and the skills that's required out of a product manager is suitable for you, or whether you're that type of person, because you may just not enjoy that. And similarly, if you're a developer and you're thinking of becoming a product manager, it might not be for you if you don't enjoy that sort of work. But if you like working with people, if you like creating that cohesiveness in the process, and you're willing to take responsibility on timelines, budget, and the overarching thing, then product manager is a great one for you to have. And if you're a product designer and thinking, I want to try and be a product manager at one point, then you want to have that strong foundation and experience in management, leadership, and business. I would say that's the most important thing, is just to have comprehension in leadership and business, because what you need to do is essentially risk and change management during the course of your job as a product manager. A lot of that, and a lot of documentation and administration work as well. But if you have all of that with you in the bag, coupled with your background as a designer, with your design thinking and human-centered design methods, then you're going to be a powerhouse for sure. Let's talk about the one last thing, which oftentimes people ask, is about the salary. And am I going to make more if I end up being a product manager? Well, obviously, the answer is actually yes, most of the time. If we're talking about the same level of experience, product managers may have earned a little bit more, or may be able to earn a little bit more than product designers. But there are companies that most definitely value design so much that it gets paid quite high and really, really well. So I guess it comes down to what you're going to enjoy most. But to give you an idea, again, just based on Glassdoor data, in the US, product designers can make it about 80 to 90K to start off with, and product managers can go up to 150K. So it's actually quite high with the responsibilities that it bears as well. So just keep that in mind. Ultimately, I find that salary is not always the key to happiness. So you just want to think about that as well. All right, guys, so I hope that was useful and you find that informative, and that it's going to help you with your career pathways as well, and help you decide on what you want to do. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer as always, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.